What is up, summoners, and welcome to the channel. Today I am excited to finally be putting together a video covering intercepting, but more specifically the Backdraft intercept. I have been requested and asked so many times to put together a video on this, so I apologize for waiting so long, but hopefully this video you'll find something that will help you out. If you don't know what Backdraft intercepting is, essentially that is when you are attacking the enemy, you evade back and almost instantly attack with either a light or a medium. I typically find it easiest to use a medium attack, but essentially if you are attacking into the block of an enemy, you'll see it many times here against Red Hulk. If you're attacking into the block of the enemy and you evade back, the computer will see that as an opening and will dash forward themselves. And if you're playing it right and you realize that they're getting ready to do that, as soon as you dash back, you immediately, like I said, use your medium attack moving forward or light attack moving forward and catch them as they're dashing forward at you. And I think of all the intercepting skills, I think that the Backdraft intercept is actually probably one of the easiest ones to do, because there is a very specific set of circumstances and things that trigger it, and you can look for them and you can set those up. And as soon as you see that you have all the circumstances in place, you can go ahead and use it. And I would say, you know, probably more than 90% of the time, it's going to work for you. There are some times you'll find if you lock the enemy down and do too many of them in a row, I think the computer recognizes that and will switch up a little bit. But certainly if it's kind of a one-off thing, it'll work for you. So let me pause the video here. There's a couple things that we're looking for that have just happened. The first is you need to be aware of the enemy's bar of power. So right now, Winter Soldier's signature ability is kicked in and I power drained. So the enemy has no power at all. What you're looking for to start the Backdraft intercept is for the enemy to have less than 1 bar of power. If the enemy has a bar of power or 2 bars of power, you can still do the Backdraft intercept, but you run the risk of, when you dash back and dash forward, more than likely the enemy is going to see that as an opening and it's going to trigger a special and it's going to wreck your face. So really the safest way and the best way to do the Backdraft intercept is when the enemy has zero power or less than 1 bar of power. So that's the first thing we're looking for. So we've got that set up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the enemy up to where he thinks that that there's an opening for him to attack. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start attacking into his blocks. Let me play the video here. You'll see me 1, 2, 3, and I pull back instantly. 1, 2, 3, attacking into his block, and I evade back. And you can see instantly as I'm evading back, that triggers the computer. They sense that there is an opening. So as he is dashing forward at me, as soon as I hit the back of my evade, I'm going to instantly swipe forward and catch him with a medium attack. And that is essentially the Backdraft intercept in its most simplistic form. Now, during that Backdraft intercept, once you do that, you can do a regular 5-hit combo, or you can chain that directly into another Backdraft intercept, not push them over a bar of power. So sometimes it actually is better to maybe not finish a 5-hit combo, maybe do 2, 3, or 4 hits. If that's not going to push them over bar of power, you can dash back again, and there's a good chance that they're going to come after you with the same thing. If they don't, let's say you evade back and they just stand there and hold your block, or hold their block, excuse me, go ahead and dash forward again and try to trigger it. Go ahead and attack into their block just as normal and then evade back. And typically, if they won't do it the first time, they will do it the second time. Now, a really good pairing for the Backdraft intercept is with a character that has some form of power control, which is what I'm going to show you right here. We've got Hawkeye, who is great with his S1 at power control. And the reason for that is because you really need to have the enemy under a bar of power before you can trigger the circumstances for the Backdraft intercept. And if you can constantly drain their power, you can always be setting them up for that. It also lessens the amount of time between when you'll be using your specials, because if you're attacking them with this Backdraft intercept, you're putting in a lot of hits. You're constantly getting back to your bar special, and basically you're in control of the fight the entire time. So this is a really good example of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to hit the enemy, pull back, and you see there instantly the enemy comes forward and I catch them with the Backdraft intercept. But what you'll see is before the enemy can even do anything, I've already gotten to 10 plus hits. I've got my special 1 together and I'm able to fire it off. So already just like 10 seconds into the fight, we're like over a 20 hit combo. And basically at this point, I think that's the only special that they're able to get off. So here I'm going to attack into them. then pull back, trigger the intercept right there. Like I said, if they will not do it right away, go ahead and attack their block, pull back, and just keep doing that until they dash forward at you. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. I know that may be making it overly simplistic, but it really is that easy. You may feel a little bit exposed if you're trying to do that at the beginning, but trust me, once you practice it and realize that it is a very consistent pattern from the AI that you can expect them to dash forward at you whenever you're evading back. It's basically just the timing of when you should dash back and then immediately dash forward. That's really where the practice needs to be had. But honestly, especially as you get up into higher end content, the more aggressively the AI is tuned, the more consistently you can do this. You can actually use their aggressiveness and kind of flip it on their head and use that against them to more consistently do these backdraft intercepts. And I find myself using this technique a lot if I'm using a character that can't regen and I'm getting really low on health. I'm trying not to necessarily take any more block damage or even any more parry stun damage. This is a good way to be able to attack into them without taking any more chip damage. A lot of times I will go ahead and I'll just attack into their block and just feed them power until they get to a special. And then once they fire off that special, that kind of gives me my opening then to dash forward and to continually build up this backdraft intercept until again I push them into a bar of power. And then again, there's my opening. So that's a really good tactic. If you can't seem to find an opening and you're trying not to take any damage, that's a good way of working around that. It's more consistent than the regular intercept because the regular intercept basically is relying on your timing and your feel for the game. Just knowing and feeling out when the enemy is about to move forward and dash forward at you, which the longer you play, the more consistent you'll get at that. But certainly the backdraft intercept, even if you haven't been playing long, it's a very easy one to understand because you know when you can apply, how to trigger it, and that's very consistent throughout all fights for all characters. Alright, as always, I hope that you guys have found this video to be a little bit of a help. Hopefully, we'll have clarified some things. If you were attempting to do the backdraft intercept, watch the video a couple of times, go out and practice it for yourself. However, if you still have questions, I would be more than happy to try to answer them for you the best I can. You can leave questions in the comments section, you can hit me up on Twitter, or you can join my Discord server. The links are all in the description below. So, choose the one that best fits you. I don't know where I was going with that. Alright guys, until I see you all in the next one, have a great day.